Yo, bro, it's Pro Sports Podcast. It's back. We're back. It feels weird to be here, man. It's been a while. I'm not going to lie. It's a little strange to do this, but we're going to get through it, man. There's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about. I'm not going to make this long just because it's my first time back on the mic for you guys. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. I mean, right now, let's talk about the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers are in the second place in the Western Conference. Let's say that again. The Los Angeles Lakers are in the second place in the Western Conference of the NBA. It's crazy because a year ago today, this team was so far from being, competent with what was going on. And, the methods which they were using to play basketball were just outdated under Darvin Ham. Let's just, not even outdated, just, there were no methods. They just played pickup every game. And under JJ Redick, they found at least an identity of sorts, and I think they're still mastering that. I think the healthier they get LeBron back, get Rui back, I think they'll be good. I think they're a top team in the league, top 5 team in the league, and it's crazy to have the Lake Show as a top tier team, actually a good team to watch, a good product on TV. Do they have some really bad games? They have some stinkers because they have older players, and they have a mix of older players and some young inexperienced players. Not a lot of seasoned vets that aren't old yet on that team, other than maybe a Rui and a Dorian Finney-Smith. Those guys are, and Jackson Hayes, he's a good age, but he hasn't had a lot of good experience playing on the stage, so I don't really count that. So it's interesting to see, man. You have the Celtics on the eastern side that are obviously, looking to repeat and run it back. And then you have teams like the Cavaliers, who have been on a historic run this season, breaking all kind of franchise records. It's crazy to see what they're doing without a LeBron James playing for them. But, they've taken the time and they've spent the money to get the assets needed. They've traded draft picks. They traded 4 draft picks. They got rid of those draft picks to bring in guys. And they drafted well. And it's turned into a great regular season team. Do I think they'll get past like the Knicks in the playoffs? I don't think so. Do I think they'll get past the Celtics? No, I don't think so. I don't know, man. We've seen this before in the Eastern Conference. These teams run through the East because the East is kind of weak, and then they get in the playoffs and they play one of the top tier Eastern Conference teams, or they play one of the top tier Western Conference teams, and they get blown off the map. And I just don't know about Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, man. I don't know. I don't really know about the Cavs. I've watched a lot of Cavs games this year, and I still just don't know about them in the playoffs. I see the Celtics and the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals. And hopefully, Jalen Brunson comes back from his ankle injury and he's good. One of the most disappointing things about this season is the 76ers. They acquired Paul George. They went and got him, and they added Paul George to it. And already Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey combination is actually supposed to be one of the best 3-headed spears in the league. And we've barely seen them on the court, not just individually with Joel Embiid. That's the normal. That's what we're used to. Him and Ben Simmons and AD, man, it's crazy. Then you add Paul George, and he's never been this injury riddled. It's never been this bad. It's really bad with Paul George right now. Even when he's out there, he's not aggressive. He doesn't really look to play hard anymore. He has really good moments, but they're just moments. They're just like flashes of, oh my God, there's Paul George. It's really him. And then next thing you know, he's not playing the next game. And it's been a big disappointment, man. I could see, man, who could really use Paul George? The Rockets. I think the Rockets will be a good team for Paul George to go to next. I think he has like 3 more stints left in him before. I don't know, man. When the game of basketball, when things aren't going your way, and you're getting to that age where you don't really have time to waste anymore, it has to suck. It really does. Another team that I'm interested in are the Orlando Magic. I mean, they've got Paolo Banchero, and they've got Franz Wagner. They've got Cole Anthony. They've got some good pieces. It'd be crazy if Jalen Suggs could actually stay on the court, man. That would be interesting right there. But on the West, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder at the top. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, man, obvious MVP candidate. He's either 1 or 2 to Jokic. And the Nuggets are another thing. They don't have the incredible night-to-night consistent domination that they once had, but they're still a great team. They still have their same identity, and they're pretty much a plug-and-play team, franchise at this point. You can pretty much bring any solid system player in there, and they'll fall right into place. Russell Westbrook has found a home, guys. I've watched my share of Nuggets games this year, and I can honestly say I could see them re-signing him, or I could see him just, taking less and less and less to stay there, because he's got to realize, like, he had this in Washington. The Wizards franchise loved him, man. I mean, he wanted to get up out of there because I think he wanted to get away from Bradley Beal, because Bradley Beal never played. Bradley Beal was injured most of that season, and Russell Westbrook was putting up historic 20-20-20 type numbers, and, carrying the load, carried that Wizards team to the play-in game, got them through the play-in game, got them to the second play-in game, won that game, and then they got whooped in the first round. But he did carry the Wizards to the playoffs, bro. He did carry a 20-win team to the playoffs, bro, and got them through 2 play-in games to get them there. And I think that he needs to stay in Denver. But I think that's good. The NBA is in a good place right now. You got LeBron James playing out of his mind at his age, and I don't know if you could ever expected this. I started watching LeBron. Obviously, I'm 37, so that kind of puts me in the same age bracket as him. So kind of watching in parallel of our age and our lives, and watching him, meet these expectations and still be fucking going way above and beyond expectations at this age is just crazy to me. So, NBA is in a good place. It got some stars that's going through some things like Wemby. Hopefully Wemby's okay. They said it's not career ending or career threatening, but still, man, hopefully it's not the start of that roller coaster ride. You know how it goes, man. Some of these guys come into the league, they're really good. You see what they could be, and then they just start this roller coaster ride of injuries that cause them to never be the same again. There's been some prospective greats that have shown that they have greatness in them, and then they spend their whole career injury riddled, and it started from one major injury or one major sit out, But also, there's a lot of teams that are, conjuring up these injuries and sitting players for the rest of the season. Teams that have no chance of going to the playoffs kind of know what that's about. But, the NBA is doing a thorough investigation on the 76ers right now for them missing games. And it's like, why are they missing these games, bro? Imagine being a season ticket holder and all 3 of them boys is out. Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George is out. You know what I'm saying? Goodness, man, that's got to be, I will have to get some money back, and I could literally take you to court. Like, the product that I signed up to see, you guys are withholding that from me, and I'm still paying full price for something that I'm not getting. Like, it's dangerous, man. And I think the NBA's got to protect themselves from that. I think that's what they're doing. So, nice wrap up for the NBA, man. I think that as we near the playoffs, these are the best games of the season. Obviously, teams have so much to play for. Every game, every win matters. You're seeing guys hitting their parlay numbers because they're going all out. And, the game is a lot more predictable around this time. The good teams take care of business on a consistent night-to-night basis because they want to keep their momentum going into the playoffs. Every team that's doing good right now wants their good playing streak to last into the playoffs. So, you're looking at playing the best and paying the most attention to detail right now, and playing the hardest, and playing whatever you can do on defense, you're doing it right now. So it's a good time for the NBA. I think that it's in a good place. As far as the NFL, I just want to touch on the NFL for just a second. But, man, these franchises are kicking up so much bread right now. I think that every position outside of running back is having, like, historical paydays, man. You're seeing, like, wide receivers having historical paydays. As I record this, what's his name? Jamar Chase got a bag, bro. Crazy bag. Jamar Chase, the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, signing a 4-year, $161 million. That's $40.25 million guaranteed annually with extensions. Wow, man. He just signed so he signed a 4-year, $161 million. $40 million of it is annually, and it's the biggest non-quarterback contract in history. That's wild. So you have T. Higgins, who signed to a 4-year, $115, and then you got Chase that signed to a 4-year, $161 with $112 of that $161 guaranteed. That is wild, bro. He is set, and he's gonna get all that money. That's good for him. But it's crazy how every position gets paid well, except for the running back position, one of the most volatile positions in the sport. And that just continues with this offseason right here. It's going to be interesting to see how teams stack up, man. Teams are spending bread, and the teams that don't have money, they're pretty much looking like trash. So some teams that can't afford the top tier quarterbacks are going to have to do very well in the NFL draft. So look forward to seeing what they cook up there. Outside of that, guys, it's been great, man. I'll definitely be back. And this is just a short little episode just to get it back started, man. I'm back. Pro Sports Podcast.